Hey friend, are you asking yourself, is this what I really want to be doing with my life? I don't think so. I think there's something else that I'm meant to be doing. Welcome to the Painting Your Path podcast, where we have real conversations about what it takes to step out, be bold, and do you. I'm your host, Castillo-Ramsey. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Painting Your Path podcast. I'm your host, Castillo-Ramsey. And if you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way to this show. And if you've been around for a while, thank you truly for being part of this community. I never take your time or presence for granted. And also, if this is your first time hearing my voice, it might sound a little raspy. And no, I don't have laryngitis. I'm healing through something called spasmodic dysphonia, and I appreciate your patience with it. So how are you doing this holiday season? I hope you're giving yourself permission to do the holidays your way, whatever that looks like. And for me, I'm in Texas right now with my mom, waiting for my husband and siblings to arrive. It's our first Christmas without my dad, so this one feels different, a little tender, a little reflective, and in many ways this episode is dedicated to him and to the journey he and my mom took when they left the Philippines for a brand new life in a country that felt so foreign. Their courage makes me think deeply about my own journey and how I got here. And there's a saying that really resonates with me, and that's we teach what we most need to learn. And I'm no exception in that. And as we wrap up the year, I felt called to share the deeper why behind the work that I do, and not in the polished bio version, but the real story. Because this work, this life, it didn't come from a book. It came from living it. And so today, I want to share 3 reasons why I do what I do, and how they might connect with what you need right now. So, reason number 1, helping people has always been a through line in my life. I didn't wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm going to be a coach. Growing up in the 80s, the only coaches I knew were athletic ones. But even as a child, I was always that person, the listener, the one people came to for advice or just to be heard. For me, helping others was instinctual. It's just who I've always been. And I can connect my helping nature back to my parents, who were both physicians. And I saw just how much they helped our community in Southeast Texas. In college, I discovered a thing called organizational behavior, but I didn't have the confidence in my early 20s to explore that new field. I had some belief that I couldn't do work that was exciting. I felt like it had to be a grind and you had to work hard. I don't know. Maybe it's because I saw how hard my parents worked. So, fast forward a decade or so later, I eventually pursued organizational psychology and became a professional development coach focused on leadership development. And that was my dream career. I was so proud to say I work in leadership. But what I really cared about was helping people build self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and stronger relationships. And then I noticed something. The leadership skills people struggled with at work were the same things that people struggle with in life. Which is being true to yourself, tuning in, using your intuition, dealing with conflict, and so much more. And by pandemic times, for me, I felt that internal need to shift. It was time for me to peace out of corporate. I had my fill, but found myself spending more time asking, how can I leave? And I had just felt kind of burnt out. And I knew it was time to go after my big dream of working for myself. So I mustered up the confidence to leave. Reason number 2, I'm uniquely qualified to help the person I once was. A few years ago, I worked with a coach who told me something I'll never forget. He said, "You are uniquely qualified to help the person you once were." And I remember that person well. She was a version of me who was constantly asking, what do you think I should do? Worried about making mistakes, making wrong decisions. The version of me back then kept seeking external validation. And rarely did I listen to my own voice. And that version of me wasn't broken, just trained. Like so many of us, conditioned to look to everyone else for answers. To believe that someone else with some authority had the secret formula, the productivity hacks, the path to success. We're told, do this, not that. Say this, but not that. Be this way, not that way. And then you forget how to trust yourself. And if that resonates, let me tell you, you are not alone. And it's not a flaw. I like to think of it as just a bad habit. It's just something we've almost all got so used to. And this brings me to reason number 3 for why I do what I do. At some point, you stop playing the game. Somewhere along the way, often in midlife, those old rules stop working. You get tired of performing, tired of chasing, and eventually you start learning to listen to yourself. And you start moving, even if the steps aren't perfect, even if place, and you're not exactly sure where you're going. And in 2020, I fulfilled a lifelong dream and published my book, Painting Your Path. But it wasn't just about checking author off my list. It was about saying yes to a new chapter. And the framework I shared in the book and still teach is simple, but not easy. And that framework is dream, decide, plan, be brave, and reflect. And it's all grounded in self-care and growth mindset. And this isn't something I invented and then marketed. It's truly what I've lived and still live. And it's what I share with my clients today. And I believe in this work so much because it helps people start circling around their lives and start participating in them. And it's not about fixing. It's about helping you come home to yourself and reconnecting with that creative, intuitive part of you that may have been pushed aside because someone once told you you weren't doing it right, you weren't productive enough, or they just didn't understand your vision. And I think back to a saying I heard over 20 years ago in a landmark education class, which was get out of the stands and onto the court. So let me ask you, my dear listener, where are you right now? Are you still in the stands? Or ready to step onto the court? If something in today's episode resonated, like, yep, this is for me, pay attention to that feeling. That's the nudge where your path begins. And this is what I do with my clients. We don't chase productivity. We reconnect with truth, creativity, and meaningful action. You don't have to know the whole path. You just have to take the next true step. So thank you so much for being here with me. And until next time, keep painting your path.
Thank you so much for staying till the very end. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend. If you haven't had a chance yet, please write a review and rate the show. I would love to hear your feedback. And I also have a free resource guide for anybody who is asking themselves, am I on the right path for myself now? Or is there something else that I really want to do? Maybe you're in that quandary. Maybe you're wondering what's next. So head over to the show notes and you'll see my Painting Your Path framework guide. Download it and have some fun. Just start exploring. And thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next week.